Okay. Mike, would you do the honors?
Sure. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Moment of silence for our deceased and people that are not feeling well. Thank you. Okay, so this is the meeting where we have a public hearing on our budget. And we have four of the five commissioners in attendance. And questions from the board, comments from the board.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, I need to open the public hearing.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize that was okay, I'd like to open the public hearing for our 2025 budget review and hopefully approval tonight. As of now, the meeting is open. There's one firefighter or citizen here. So any comments from the board, any changes, any issues that we want to visit today, right now, before we pursue this budget?
Well, first of all, say Chief Biden's here.
Yes, he is.
To defend his budget. The one question I do have is I've asked our attorney about the Northern Protection contract.
Right.
With regard to the EMS. I didn't hear back from him. I don't know whether Katie did. We've both been trying to reach him. Regardless, it would result in a refund for us.
Yes.
So we should get that answer. So we know one way or another, but we should not be paying for EMS service in that area.
Agreed. I don't know who caught that, but it was a good catch. Ed, do you have any comments on your budget?
No, I don't.
Okay. The only thing I did last meeting that we had was I wanted to up our capital reserve truck budget a little bit for next year. I'm gonna need to up it so that we can afford the new ladder that's, I think it's 30 years old now, or 29 years old or something like that. And Mike, do you have any comments? No. Okay.
The other thing too, I just wanna, I did start to go out and get estimates for equipment that's not included for the new building. Cost of a new, cascade system is, over $100,000. So we need, I don't know where that is in here, but that one piece of equipment is about $110,000 as of today. I don't know what the cost of the, exhaust system will be.
That's supposed to be built into the contract according to the architect.
That is,
That's what he said. On the phone, he's told me, and on the Zoom to us, he told us.
so that the exhaust system is built in.
That's what he told us. Yeah.
All right, we need to definitely find out, because if it's
I think
not,
I sent that in an email to you yesterday. I think it maybe near the bottom of my email. It doesn't matter.
I
Whatever.
didn't see it,
Okay.
but in any event, if we could, I'll check that list that he sent out saying what equipment we're responsible for. Is that still,
I hope it's still active. I don't know. I haven't heard him say anything
okay,
against it.
we'll just, okay. And you've been in contact with Deb from Devier?
I did. I talked to her. She's having a meeting here. She's going to be down here in November. I don't remember the date. She said it's
Oh.
early November, like the
Right,
fourth,
because
maybe.
Charlie and I had talked to her because
Yeah.
there's a switch or something in one and two of the.
This is
vehicles
radio. It's a transmitter.
That turns that
In
system
the,
on.
you're talking about the rescue.
I'm talking, John had said the rescue, and is it another?
No, I think
vehicle?
it's just the rescue right
He
now.
said there were two. Let me just see, but in any event,
Well, anyway, the rescue supposedly needs a new transmitter. I reached out to our truck service company up north, and they said they didn't install it. They don't remember anything about it. So I just have to reach out to Deb and see if she installed it or had a tech come down and install it when they were doing the installation of the system.
okay, so
But
on
that's where we are
September
with that.
27th, we contacted her.
Mhm.
She had recently had surgery on her shoulder, and she will come down a date, I was gonna discuss it at the meeting, early November.
Right. She told me, I think, if I'm not mistaken, she told me, I think November 4, I think.
Okay.
Is that possible? What day of the week is that?
Monday.
Monday? So maybe it's that. We can reach out to her. I should have called her today, but I was kind of running around.
Okay,
I'll
so
do it.
the information I received were, transmitters are hardwired into 145 and Rescue 23.
Not 145, 146 maybe?
I don't know, he sent 145.
Okay.
So those are the two that are having issues, or if there's.
Yeah. The one that's in 146 is not really hard. Well, it's hardwired, but it's just sort of laying there. It's not like
That's
attached very well. But he and I went looking for the one in the rescue and we couldn't find it. So that's why I reached out to the repair shop up north and he didn't know anything about it. He doesn't know, he deals with another brand, but he didn't know anything about this particular one. So
Yeah,
he recommended I go there.
Don't seem to think there is one on the rescue. I know someone else insists that there is, but I don't recall there ever being one on there. Have you maybe reached out to Commissioner Oliveri? Because
No, I
he's
did not.
in charge of trucks.
Yeah, I'll do that. It's a great idea. Thank you.
Just so you know, in the specs, it has Plymouth instead of, Magna Grip built in, so I don't know whether that, has any bearing on what will be provided.
I don't know. We're gonna have to straighten that out with Deb and find out if it comes under the budget in those pricing.
Right, okay.
Okay, Chief, do you have any comments on your budget? Do you have any?
No, I haven't had any questions from anybody, so I'm
Okay.
assuming we're good to go.
Okay,
I mean, we chatted when we had the work session, the three of us, and there didn't seem to be any issues, so I
Okay.
just for the current year to see if we recovered the funds, but that's for Thursday's meeting, so.
okay. Are you comfortable with your budget for next year? I mean, you
Yeah,
feel.
oh, no, without a doubt.
Okay. All right, comments from the, do you have anything coming in on email or anything by any chance? Anything from Zoom, no? We just started talking about the budget a few moments ago, and I'm just wondering, Katie, if you have any comments on it before we move further?
Don't think so. I feel like we've rehashed it so many times that I feel it's good to go.
Okay.
You guys feel the same?
The only question I had was on Mount Kisco, the northern protection. Did you hear anything back from Mike or Mr. Brancotti regarding that? Okay, in any event, it results in, a lower payment on our end,
Okay.
so, okay, I'll keep pursuing that.
Commissioner Ralph, we were just going over, we want each commissioner to see if there was any discussion or any concerns with your individual budgets. Do you have any concerns with what you've got going?
No,
Okay,
not at all.
happy?
Very happy.
All right. Yep. Comfortable with next year, good. So the next item on the agenda looks to be the tax cap form. And I think at this point, Christine, correct me if I'm wrong, we should make a motion to, or maybe it's Katie who has to give us this information, motion to accept it so that we can exceed our cap.
You have to adopt that resolution and vote on it.
This is the first thing on the agenda.
Form itself is really just a data entry exercise. It's numbers that came from 2024. And these factors are applied, they're just like, they come from the state. So the tax levy limit is 1.65190. That's a figure that's calculated by the state through this form. And that's our number, and we have to go above that
Mhm.
based on our debt service.
Right, okay. Okay, so then it's the resolution sheet as opposed to the tax cap form. I was looking at the wrong one, I'm sorry. So does anybody have any comments about this? Anybody want to make any motion to approve or discussion on it? Okay, none heard, so I would like to get a motion to approve it. Yeah, if somebody would like to do that, and we'll get a second. Crickets. Anybody, please approve this.
Motion to approve the tax cap form.
Okay, thank you. And may I get a second on this?
I'll second that.
Okay, thank you. All right, all those in favor? Chairman Smith, aye. Commissioner Frank,
Aye.
Commissioner Roush,
And we have the right lingo, Christine.
The right one?
Lingo,
Aye.
it's a tax cap.
thank you, sir.
Or
The tax cap that we're on.
Okay, Commissioner Soldo?
Aye.
Thank you. And Commissioner Zezzi?
Aye.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'm sorry, what was Commissioner Rausch's vote?
All ayes,
Oh, I.
unanimous. Okay, so this is the 15th. Okay.
Sure.
All right, thank you for that. And the budget. So now, can we approve our budget? Here is our resolution to approve our budget.
Close the public hearing.
Yeah, I would,
I'm
because it's
sorry.
only not even been 15 minutes.
You
So
want-
how long should we keep it open for the public?
You don't have, there's no time specific.
You want to let it go on a little bit
I would say 15 minutes.
more? Okay.
I mean, it's up to the board, but, I would give it at least a half an hour. But the board can make that determination.
I don't know if it's appropriate. We have other things to discuss in the meantime, right? It does make sense to give people a chance to show up, right?
I would say yes,
Can't
because
hurt.
it's 4:30, so,
Okay.
what's the board's
Do-
preference?
I don't have any solid feelings on this. What are your thoughts? Feel like another 15 is okay?
Yeah, it's okay with me.
All right, Mike, all right, let's leave it open another few minutes then. Yeah, okay, all right. So what other topics does anybody want to talk about? I would like to talk about having a meeting. I don't think we can do it this week, but maybe first available time we can get together. Maybe Ed, you and I can and maybe the chief, if he's available, we'll pick a time when Reddy and Kevin are available, because we have to talk about how we're gonna turn cars and trucks around in the back parking lot. And right now, the comments are from the construction contractor is that they want to close off the side driveway and not start giving us access to a temporary driveway out next to the Con Ed transformer. So that's gonna really impede our flow of traffic. There was one concept that I think the project engineer, our project manager, put forth, and he said, maybe we can get a turnaround, like where the dumpster used to be, and maybe a turnaround big enough that, you know, the oil delivery truck, the garbage truck, a fire truck, and obviously cars can make a turnaround and go back out on 120.
I don't see how that could happen.
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's what he thought. You know, if he's,
I think from that perspective,
A
if
car
you're
maybe.
looking to entertain doing more work to build a solid foundation for, as you described, the garbage truck and oil
Yeah.
truck, a fire truck to turn around. Tell them to put the driveway in. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
This is
That's-
this is your project. It's not the consultant's project.
exactly.
So they need to find a way. This is what we were told, that this stuff was, and I disagree. The meeting with them is not just strictly about what we're gonna do with the backyard. It's the communication and the problem in general with,
You're,
again, we were told
Yep.
we're not gonna impact operations. Well, there's been two major changes in the last month that impact operations, and this is still a functional firehouse.
right,
And I'm very concerned, as I said in my note to the board, that I applaud the fact that the GC now has virtually documents in hand to move forward. But I believe he's damn the torpedoes full steam ahead, and we'll sort it all out later, which may work if that was an empty field without any impact to this building.
Yeah.
But there's huge impacts to this building.
agreed, agreed. So obviously, the ideal situation is for him to put the temporary road in. And if he has to put plates down when he's not working there, put plates down, you know, I don't know how much they cost, but, you know, you can rent them, I'm guessing. So that we can have access, on a daily basis. If he's digging, okay, that's maybe for a day or, you know, a couple of days he's trenching. But somebody, I think it might have been our project manager said it might take 2 months for them to do the trenching and so on. All right, so 2
That's
months,
correct.
they put down.
Up
Up
to
to
3
three?
months.
I hadn't heard that, okay. So up to 3 months of moving the plate when they have to dig. That's not a big deal because they're gonna have a machine there that can lift the plate up with a, no
The problem
problem.
is they wanna pour
Okay. So they can put a
in
plate
the
over.
driveway.
Which driveway? They existing?
One over here.
Yeah,
Right, well,
Mhm.
again, the point is if they close that driveway, they need to give us an option.
Yeah.
That option is a temporary driveway to Memorial Drive.
going out by the.
That's what they're saying. They need to trench under to put plates because there's gonna be utilities and services
Right.
that
But
run
if
underneath
you
it.
look there, they have to put in a retaining wall that has to go in before they do it. And they have to grade it.
Yep, they have to.
So that's an amount of work.
It's a lot of work.
And I mean, I don't mean to be cavalier about it, but that sounds like it's a them problem.
It's also the telephone pole that has
That's
to be,
over at Memorial Drive, yeah,
Yeah.
right,
that has to be relocated.
right. I'm not too terribly worried about the telephone pole because we can drive around it for the time being. But the more important thing is right now, the property line comes up to here and then our property drops off. So they have to fill that in so that it's structurally sound and a truck can get out
Mhm.
orient. And I think that, as Paul points out, that's gotta be done before they close off the existing driveway out here. It just doesn't make any sense, and
I think it might be worth it at the end of this, at the end of this meeting.
Mhm.
Maybe we go outside and have a class trip for 5 minutes and take a look at it. And we
Sure.
all look at it at the same time. We know what we're looking at. And
I have no problem with that. I was walking the dog out there yesterday, taking a good
well,
solid view
you
of it.
might look at it and have an idea, right, of what it should be.
Mhm.
Paul will look at it and say, well, that, your idea is not gonna function for
Could
the
be,
firehouse,
be.
right?
Yeah.
Or
It could be,
it's
and
not
we all,
gonna work well.
we will all have our viewpoints, and I think we need to mesh them together and make sure we're all on the same page to the contractor, because he's not running this train. No, I mean, to some degree he is, but he can't run this until we have our access road in there, you know, it's just not.
I don't
really
know,
feasible.
we said in the beginning that the firehouse would remain fully
Exactly,
functional.
exactly, we've said it time and time again, time and
The
time
other thing
again.
I noticed after the lights were put in the back of the building, and thank you both, that they
Yeah.
look good. I took a drive by after one of our late night calls to see how it was lighting up to make sure it wasn't interfering. The commissioners, as and I had spoken about it. So I took a drive down Memorial Drive. The lights are fine. They're not shining, but there's a building back there. If you're facing the child care center to the left of it, that had TVs on, and there were a number of cars parked outside of it as if it's residential. You know, their cars were parked right where this temporary driveway would be coming out. You know, and then from a notification perspective, I know there was talk about speaking to the police about no parking. Have we done anything further with Memorial Drive and the notification and conversation with the neighbors?
I think, if I'm not mistaken, were you gonna talk to the town or the PD about that and see what we can do when we really get to the point where we have to go through there?
I will do that.
Would you? Could you
Yeah.
put it down on a note to make sure we do that? Okay, like, can you do it tomorrow, do you think? Because the sooner the better, because who knows when they're gonna punch through over there. Okay. Yeah. Were you done? I didn't mean to step on you.
No, I mean, it's just the recurring conversation about being good neighbors and keeping the communication up with the people around us. You know, there's a number of people who have stopped in across the street and asked Owen what was going on when they saw the fence. Now granted, we did a specifically targeted emailing or notification about what was going on. But, you know, from a broader perspective, now that the fence is up, now that trees are coming down, is it worthwhile to put together some type of a notice to the neighbors saying, hey, just give me an update? We're gonna be taking the trees down. We fully expect construction crews to be here within the next month, whatever it might be. And do something every 3, 6, 9 months to keep the people informed what's going on.
Well, I know Bedford Village had a notice on their webpage weekly or however they did it every time something was happening or changing. So I don't know how many people look at the website, but that's another way to keep people
Sure.
informed.
Sure.
Right, you know, right in the front, because we have a lot of old information up there. So that should be taken down and put updates up there. Also, wasn't there a sign or something that was?
Yeah, I
supposed to
just put
go?
it down. He's supposed to create a sign. He was asking for
Yeah.
our
so-
emblem, and I'll reach out to him tomorrow, unless you wanna reach out and find out where we are with that, because
Yeah,
it's gonna
'cause
be a big sign. It's gonna have ocean number, signage on it, you
Yeah,
know, for
that
safety
should-
and all that
That
stuff.
should be
Yeah,
there.
it should, well, as soon as they get it, I'm sure they're gonna. put it
Yeah,
there.
that has
But
to
we
be-
gotta find out where we are in that
Well,
process.
I think we should also talk about a date to reschedule the October meeting that was supposed to be held Monday. Can we aim for next Monday?
I
It's
can,
November 4th, isn't it?
oh,
But we need something in between.
sooner.
Yeah,
Because with canceling that and not meeting until, what was it, 6 weeks since we've met?
yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Does anybody have a conflict next Monday? Next Monday evening?
I don't think so.
is there a meeting? on
Monday's
that?
what, the 20?
No,
21st.
there's no department or company meetings.
No, I mean, I had suggested that I didn't hear back, so I think that's
What day of the week? I'm sorry,
Next Monday, a
what
week
number
from
day
now.
is it?
First.
21st?
21st. If we could ask them if it works for everybody.
Okay, we can do Zoom on that, I presume, right? Good. All right. Okay, anything else? Chief?
And again, I know you're tired of hearing me say it, but I am very concerned about Oak Lane and the Memorial Drive and how this is gonna be impacted with the construction.
Mhm.
You know, and I don't feel that we've done an adequate job of speaking with even Oak Lane so that they can notify their parents. You're going to have a problem coming in here. I mean, it's a fact. It's
Yep.
not going to,
Yep.
you might, you will, they are going
Yeah.
to have issues.
Sure.
Particularly if according to all the documents that Reddy sends out after the meeting each week, construction time starts at 7 AM. You're gonna be a prime drop-off time for these parents with kids.
Right.
Snowy, crappy weather days when there's still school in force. You know, these folks who may not necessarily live in the immediate area are probably unaware of what's gonna be happening and how busy that street is gonna be.
So maybe a new mailing, a revised mailing like we handed out.
Create a mailing and ask Oak Lane to distribute to its parents as part of their weekly packets.
That,
And they
that's
should have a
extraordinary.
schedule
Yeah,
of,
even if it's a fly.
right, they should also have a schedule of any major impact outside of the normal that's gonna impact their traffic over there. Plus, there are a lot of parents that walk their children there. So they should definitely be notified more than others.
Okay,
You know, on the days when they're delivering steel, those tractor trailers are gigantic.
Yeah.
And they're gonna be trying to pull in to unload. And okay, the cement mixer is not as big of a deal, it's a shorter wheelbase, but you've got a full 18-wheeler
Mhm.
that's delivering steel girders, and you're going to have multiple lined up on that street. You know, it's nice if we ask the police about no parking, but that's also continuing not to be good neighbors, because where are we expecting those people who
Yeah.
live or work there to park? Have them park at Walgreens? We really haven't asked Walgreens property owner for permission that we're directing people to park there.
it's a good possibility. We should do that. All right, anything else? Anyone? Okay. All right. It's 6 minutes up. Can I wait another 4, 5, 6?
It's up to the board.
Okay. What do you think about waiting?
That's fine with me.
Wait,
So,
okay.
so the meeting on the 21st is at 6, is it?
Well, we have to
Well, you
see,
got some-
we
we
have
have-
to see
we
if
have-
they're available.
Yeah, we're gonna reach out to them tomorrow. Okay.
I feel like Kevin said he wasn't available about it. He wasn't on it.
On the 21st? I didn't know you said, oh, you sent him a text? Oh, good, good. All right, great. I just got it. Okay. All right, so I guess what I'm gonna do is take the last few minutes here and I'll read the 2025 budget resolution. It says here, whereas the Board of Fire Commissioners of the Newcastle Fire District Number 1 must adopt the proposed budget for 2025, and whereas the Board of Fire Commissioners of Newcastle Fire District Number 1 held the annual public hearing on October 15, 2024 at 4:30 PM, and whereas the Board of Fire Commissioners of Newcastle Fire District Number 1 has considered the proposed budget and received comments for both for and against the proposed budget, there were no comments at said public hearing on October 15th, 2024. Now therefore be it resolved, and we're gonna vote on this later. And now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Fire Commissioners of Newcastle Fire District Number 1 hereby approves the final budget for the Newcastle Fire District Number 1 for 2025 attached hereto and made part thereof in the amount of $2,443,504 with expenditures of $2,755,296 and revenue of $311,792. The rate for Newcastle,
Those the flat rate? Yes.
these are, okay. These are the current rates for Newcastle. It's a 50% increase and it's 4.38%. The Mount Pleasant rate is 57.66%. Is that a good number? Oh, okay. And it's a 50.9% increase. And we will vote on this momentarily as soon as the
That's
clock
what,
ticks.
I said yes, but I just wanna look at it.
Okay.
That's what you sent out, Christie?
I highlighted the numbers from last year, so I don't know.
No, but whatever you sent for the
Mhm.
meeting today,
Yes.
that's what he's reading off of?
Mhm.
Okay. I just wanna look at it. Make sure.
So Ed, have you heard back from anybody like in the town or, but we're still waiting for the DOT permit, right?
Yeah, so what's going on? Ann Daralis,
Mhm.
she's approved it. However, it has to be approved by the region or supervisors or whatever. That's what's holding it up.
Okay, and so once we get that, hopefully in a week or so,
Yeah, then, the town will approve the permit
Okay.
to remove the trees.
and I saw an email asking for, I think it was 3 more things from the town. Did you see that email?
Yeah, I did.
Who is gonna provide that? Is that the project manager? Do they have it?
Would think so.
Okay, maybe you can, tomorrow you can reach out to them and find out if that's
I'll check.
in the pipeline getting to the
Okay.
town, so we don't have a hiccup at the last minute. Okay, so on a slightly different topic, I brought a drawing here, which shows, this is not exactly the right time to talk about it, but I brought a drawing, which is something we can compare to the other drawings that are over on that table. This is the same size as those, and this shows the proposed new location for a bathroom down in the decontamination area. So it'll be easier to compare the two if they're the same size and displayed next to each other. So that's a potential location for it that the architect has said. You want to see it?
Is anybody gonna dispute the cost?
We have to talk about that, but I'm not saying we have to talk about it right now.
Well, I think we should talk about it
We
at the
can.
meeting.
Yeah,
Not
agreed.
here, but at
Yeah,
the,
I agree. I
The
mean,
new location you're referencing there, or do you mean adding them to the current, to the existing decon room? Does that plan show that they're putting it, they've got a different idea of somewhere else?
no, it's
Okay, so it's adding it to the room as
Yes,
opposed to
correct.
putting it in a different spot.
correct, It's within that
I mean,
space.
from an operational perspective, from what I saw, that would work because we can also rearrange, like, one of the things I think they said was gonna be an issue was moving the hose dryer rack. We'd be able to move that because looking at the SCBA rack that was currently behind that wall
Mhm.
was not going to be a huge issue
No.
because they accounted for a much larger rack than we have SCBA spare bottles.
Mhm. We can probably cut back a little bit on that, I
But I
guess.
think, I mean, from my perspective, the key is the cost, you know, where that, I don't quite understand how $200,000 for something that hasn't even been built yet, when you're really just going to be adding in a toilet to a new valve and a sink, because yes, everywhere there's a toilet, there has to be a sink by code.
Yeah.
You're not running new plumbing, you're just adding to something that hasn't even been put in yet.
Yeah,
So
it
I'm
was
not quite
shocking.
Sure why it's. unless
It
it's
would
building-
cost less than that to do it after the fact.
Yeah, that's, would be my thought.
Yeah,
I hate to chop up the floor to do it though.
no, I agree. I mean, it'd be foolish. I'm just saying, it just sounds like not
Exorbitant.
appropriate, given,
It
you
almost
know,
just
we
sounds like,
haven't
it's
even.
guys, it's gonna be like $1 million to do that, you don't. do that.
It doesn't sound like a real thought out number.
no, I think
somehow.
it was to draw that.
It was to discourage us. from-
Well, I don't know, if
Exactly.
it was more than that, really. I mean, I can understand drawing this is a fairly simple thing on the computer.
Oh, exactly.
But to add the plumbing and add to the electrical and add to whatever, so it's gonna add up, I guess, and then, you know, everybody has their handout, so it's gonna cost money for everybody, you know.
If
electric-
I remember, there was,
That could be a problem.
Well, it's, you know, the adjacent lights and this and that.
if I remember, there was plumbing and electrical in that room anyway.
I'm sure there is, it's just a matter of different plumbing now and different
So all you
lighting.
just have to do is extend whatever's there.
You're preaching to the choir, I'm on board with
Maybe I'm
that,
oversimplifying it.
yeah.
Katie, are these figures right?
The ones that,
Yeah.
who I just read, yes,
Okay.
they're good.
Okay, I just want to acknowledge the work that Katie put into
Yeah,
working with Mount Pleasant. Actually, we were both going back and forth on that contract. I really wanted the residents there to understand why the increase was what it was. Their contract is going up $100,000. And working with them and Noreen, the new controller over there, you did a great job, and I'm glad the notification was accepted by them. So thank you.
good. Okay, at this time, I would like to close the public portion of the meeting. And so can you jot that time down for us? Great, thank you. All right, now the budget resolution.
You have to motion.
To close the meeting? I'll get this eventually. All right, may I have a motion to close the public session of portion of this meeting?
I make the motion.
All right, thank you. Second, okay, thank you. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Okay. All those opposed? Thank you. Okay, so now we can move on to the 2025 budget resolution that I read a few moments ago. Does anybody want me to reread it or any portion of it? Okay, very good.
You just want to offer an explanation to why those numbers are so different. It's all about the tax equalization rate in each of the towns.
Okay,
So, yeah.
all right, so there's a formula. We're not just
Yes.
picking it out of the clouds. Okay,
Correct.
good, great. Okay. All right, so may I have a motion to approve our 2025 budget resolution?
All right, motion to approve the 2025 budget
Okay.
resolution.
All right, thank you, sir. And a second on that, please?
I'll second that.
All right. All right, two, thank you. All right, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say nay. Okay, it was unanimous. Thank you all. And the budget.
I
has
don't
been
know if it's,
approved.
if you have to do the actual roll call or not. Does he?
Do you think I should do the actual? roll?
It can't hurt.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Chairman Smith, aye. Chairman Frank,
Aye.
okay. Commissioner Rausch,
Aye.
Commissioner Soldo,
Aye.
Commissioner Zezzi.
Aye.
Thank you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. A for everybody, I guess. Okay, and you're taking this down on the. Okay, so our budget for 2025 has been approved. Thank you all. All right, is there anything else that we have to bring before the board at this time for this budget hearing? If not, I'm gonna start reading off the future dates. The next regular meeting is scheduled for October 17th, this Thursday. At 6:30 PM at the firehouse here. Email any questions and concerns for the board's consideration for any meetings to BOFC@NCFD.org. Okay, does anybody want to adjourn the meeting? I'd like to hear a
Make a
motion.
motion to adjourn.
Thank you, sir. A second, please.
Second it.
Thank you. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Thank you. Very good. This meeting is adjourned.